Good morning, coolest coast. It's time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. So happy to see you this morning. Hey, I'm over
This
here.
here in my house, I'm pointing to my right, but you're on my left on the screen. Very weird. Good morning.
Talking about like setup. Last week, it was so cool because your daughter Josie got to join us, and we just had such a cool conversation. And then after the show, your husband Doug shared this kind of behind the scenes pic, and I love this. I love seeing how you're all set up. Tell us what you had to do here.
Well, as much as we look like a professional operation, we're really just two mom entrepreneurs hanging out, right? So we've got a tote there that had some like outdoor toys and stuff in it that I flipped upside down because we needed to get a little height on the camera. We've got our bug spray out there because, there's a lot of mosquitoes up there. And then you might not be able to see this, but Josie had a blanket on her lap. But we had also tucked it between the chairs because the arms were clanging together. And so I said, we need a little padding in between these chairs so the chairs don't clang together. So there's the behind the scenes. It's very, very northern Wisconsin looking.
You're super pro. I love that you even thought about the clanging chairs, and you're barefoot. It's cute. It's like business on top and like beach ready on the bottom.
Right? Right. I do have shoes on today, just in case you all are wondering.
So was it a good experience for Josie? Did
Oh,
she
yeah.
enjoy that?
She loved it. I mean, I would say out of all of our kids, she is the influencer. And what I mean by that is, at something like softball, she's always the cheerleader. She's always like telling people like, okay, you got this, or we've got 2 outs, or, she just is like a little chatterbug and a cheerleader on the field. And then there's just other places where, like, as an example, she heard a radio announcement from Y100 that they were taking dad jokes for Father's Day. And she's like, she loves jokes. She's like, can I submit one? And I was like, sure. So I had to do it under my name, obviously, because she's not 18. So we submitted it. And then I said to her, one of the ways, like the first step is you have to submit it. But then the second step is you have to get people to vote for you because there was like 10 jokes out there. And so I said, how about I post it on Facebook? And so we did that. Well, she won.
Awesome! Congrats,
So
Josie.
she didn't just win. This girl won a pair of Ariat cowboy boots from Horsey Habit, up to $250, super nice boots. She won like a Saruji's gift basket. She's got a gift card for $100 to pick something out at Saruji's, like all these goodies. She got to give Doug another little basket of goodies for Father's Day because I just picked it up yesterday. But it's like this kid just like has these ideas and is inspired and then like wants to go make it happen.
That's amazing. And as a mom, isn't that incredible to see your kids blossom and sort of hold their own and like advocate for themselves and have their own creativity? And it's just such a joy. Like I always miss like the baby years, but I also, my gosh, I'm so in love with the development years.
Right. Well, and I think like she thinks of things or is motivated to do things that I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. But like I try to, you as a parent, you're like, sure, go for it. Right. Like, okay, let's try to figure out how we can make this happen. So yeah, she enjoyed the show. I thought she did a great job. We watched it back as a family later in the day. And I'm sorry, I think the audio in our video got disconnected again. Northern Wisconsin Wi-Fi might have caused a little bit of an issue. If you close your eyes and listened, it was fine.
Just squint a little when you're watching.
If you watched it, it was a little disjointed, but it was just like a cool experience to do it with her. And doing this live is not easy. You have to make space for people to talk and different things. And I was really proud of her.
And what a great experience to expose her to. Right now, she's always got that under her belt. She always knows, you know what, I did a live interview, just chatting off the cuff, because you never know what's going to happen.
Right. I mean, she could be, the next Ryan Seacrest. She could be like Josie Odell, and like that video from last week is going to be in her archive somewhere.
And
So
she's already got the name. Does Josie sound like somebody? Like Ryan
we
Seacrest.
actually named her Josephine with the idea that like maybe, she'll be an attorney or she'll be a president, or, like how you think of things like Josephine Odell sounds great. And if she wants to be more casual, she can be Josie. So,
Cute. I love it.
so
Hey,
thank you. Thank you for having her on.
you sent another picture, and I had to look at this picture for a long time because this almost looks like an ad for that cribbage board, right? Because it's like the perfect cribbage hand laid
Right?
out there. So was this really during a game?
Yeah, this was really during a game. So a couple things. This cribbage board was at the house that we rented. And isn't it cool?
Yeah, state of Wisconsin cribbage board. I love
So
it.
the end was like where Tomahawk is in the States. Remember last week you were like, okay, do the Wisconsin mitten. Like you can see where it ends. Now there's some counting things. The way this travels around the state of Wisconsin, the counting lanes are a little like funky.
Mm.
So you had to pay attention when you're, pegging points. But the reason I took this picture is I thought, so your dad always jokes when you get no points that he has a 19. I thought this was a 19 hand initially
What? How so?
through HR math. But so this is 15-2, 15-4, 15-6, 15-8, 15-10, 15-12. A pair is 14 and a pair is 16, and then knobs is 17. I miscounted, I think, on the pairs, and I was like 18, and knobs is 19. Wait, I always said this isn't possible. I have a 19 hand. And my mom and we were playing, I think we were playing, Doug and I were playing, my mom was watching. And Doug's like, take a picture. And then I recounted it. I'm like, wait, it's a 17 hand, not a 19 hand. But it's
Right.
still a really good cribbage hand.
It is an excellent cribbage hand. Did you end up winning this game?
I don't know. As you can see, we were neck and neck there. I think Doug ended up winning 2 and I won 1. I think that's how it ended. But they were really, really close games.
Wow. Well, I mean, that is an excellent hand. Like,
Yeah.
whenever I see a 5 and a bunch of face cards, like,
No,
that's points right there, and then to have a 5 flipped in the draw, oh my gosh, cut,
yeah, game
that's
on, right?
yeah, game on. But, yeah, so if you don't play cribbage, a 19 is a hand that you can't get. I guess for some reason, you can never get points that add up to 19.
It's
So
impossible. We thought we did the impossible.
that would have been amazing. That would have been an incredible story to tell.
Right? So the other thing I'm curious about, and I don't know where this board was made, but I'm wondering if you can get it so that the trail ends in Manitowoc.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like if they shifted where it starts and where it finishes, it could curve into Manitowoc.
It could. Yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, that would
So,
be fun.
right? So somebody has a board that looks like this, or maybe
Viewers, if you have any information, any idea, any suggestions, let us know. I mean, that would be a great gift, right? And
wouldn't
so many people around here play cribbage.
right. So yeah, it was fun.
Hey, can we just take a quick second? So tomorrow is my mom's birthday, and I just wanted to wish her a very happy birthday. It's a milestone. She's going to be 75, and I'm just so happy to be able to wish her a happy birthday.
Diane, you are amazing. Happy birthday. We hope you have an incredible day. Your mom doesn't look like a day over 55, I think.
Nice,
She's
nice.
so vibrant. I mean, women in your family obviously age well, but I hope she has a great day. Are you going to do anything special to celebrate?
We are. We're gonna go out to lunch with my grandma and my aunt and my parents. My cousin owns a restaurant, the Tipsy Tomato, so we're gonna go there to celebrate.
Nice.
So viewers,
Awesome.
if you happen to be around tomorrow afternoon, I think we're gonna do it about 4 o'clock. Come join us.
Fabulous.
Mary says, "Happy birthday to your mom." Thanks,
Yeah,
Mary.
let's party crash Diane's birthday.
Now, this is not for the birthday. This is completely separate. Tell us about this rhubarb pie that we're looking at.
Yeah, so my mom, like this is kind of an annual tradition when rhubarb becomes ready to make this rhubarb custard, and it's like a rhubarb custard torte. And so my mom made this amazing crust on the bottom, and then you pour like custard filling and rhubarb and all this stuff. You mix it together and you put it in a pan, and somehow it knows how to separate. And so the rhubarb ends up on the top and the custard is on the bottom. And you can see it makes this like crackly kind of a delicious top. And so the first night my mom, she baked it up there on vacation. We brewed a pot of coffee at like 8 o'clock at night, and we had a cup of coffee in this rhubarb tort.
That sounds amazing. So I just want to unpack what you said. You're saying that that crumbly top sorted itself out, so that's not like a separate top
No,
crust?
isn't that no? Isn't that cool?
How is that possible?
I don't know. The magic, the chemistry of baking.
I have this like image of the molecules being like, you go there, we'll go here, you go up, we'll go down, you know.
Yeah, it must like the custard definitely must weigh more. Like the eggs and milk and stuff much must weigh more than the rhubarb. So it knows what to do. You mix it all together, but it knows. It
It's
knows.
incredible to me that somebody figured that out too,
I know.
right? Mary said, so I'm weird. I don't like rhubarb in anything. I like it raw with salt on it.
Oh,
I didn't even know that was an option. I never would have thought of that. Wow.
yeah. I do know other people that eat it raw. It's like sour celery.
Ooh.
I
That makes like right here when I just even think of that, like juice just starts coming out.
I know. Yeah, I do not enjoy it raw, but I do enjoy it. Like there's wonderful rhubarb muffin recipes or rhubarb bread and tort and like all these great things.
Yeah, I do love rhubarb. I love that sourness, but it absolutely needs some sugar with it. Otherwise, because like here's the Webster's word of the day from yesterday, noisome. Do you ever use this word? Noisome means very unpleasant or disgusting. And I'm not sure rhubarb with salt might be noisome
Mm.
to me.
I've not ever used this word, but I like it. And it kind of strikes me as like annoying,
Yeah.
which is typically unpleasant. Probably not disgusting, but there's some word association happening in my brain.
Yeah, I like that connection with annoying. And it also kind of reminds me of nauseous. Like when I hear
Ooh,
noisome, it's
yes.
that like kind of nauseous, queasy.
Yes. Noisome. Can you use it in a sentence?
Well, I know you were worried I would find the rhubarb pie noisome, but I actually think it looks delicious.
Bravo! Bravo!
Can you use it in a sentence?
Um, the lunchbox that Grace brought home from work yesterday was noisome. It had been sitting in the refrigerator for a week and a half while we were gone.
Oh God. That does not sound good. That is the perfect use of noisome.
She got very lucky because it was like a peanut butter and jelly and just carrots in a bag, an apple, like a very straightforward lunch. And so it held up surprisingly well.
Okay, viewers, in the comments, give us a quick sentence using the word noisome.
Noisome, yeah. In order to kind of like get new words to like embed into my brain, I need them to connect with something. So I actually think this is one that I feel like maybe rolls off the tongue a little bit.
Like, because yeah, what other word would you have used to describe that? Maybe disgusting?
Yeah, disgusting, nasty.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Hey, do you suffer from the same mom situation as me? So for a while, like I was mama, right? Love that. Then it was mom, also very cool, love that. And then at some point I became dude. And I had to always be like, I'm not a dude, I'm mom. Like, stop calling me dude. And then at some point it transitioned and it just became bra, formerly known as mom. Do you ever get referred to as bra?
I do not like this at all. It's more like bro in our house. Probably spelled the same. Um, but I don't like it. In the same train of thought, especially if Doug is not home. There's no bros in this house. Like I am not your bro.
Yeah, you're
I'm
completely misunderstanding the application of this word, and it's just a little too casual, right?
yes.
Like, as much as I love my son and as great as a relationship as we have, I'm still the authority in that relationship, right? And if if, I'm referred to and thought of as the bra, like, I feel like it kind of undermines that situation.
Yeah. I think of like RESPECT. Doesn't work. This one doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I'm rhyming.
Viewers, what do you think? Do you get referred to by any sort of, I don't know, casual references or bruh or dude or and are you cool with it?
Yeah, they are. The girls definitely use "dude" as like an exclamation, like "dude." Actually, I think I hear you do that.
It's such a great word. I do love that word because it's you can use it in so many ways, like, "Dude, dude, dude." I mean, like, it can mean so many
Dude.
things.
But yeah, there's no dudes. There's no dudes as it pertains to mom.
Mary said, "Sauerkraut is very noisome."
I do not agree. I love sauerkraut. I love it. I love it.
What do you eat sauerkraut with?
Mm, hot dogs, cheddar dogs, pork, ribs, pork tenderloin.
Have you always loved sauerkraut?
No, I mean, I think it's an acquired taste, right? I definitely come from a family that eats it. We have a lot of like Eastern European descent. And so, pork roast and sauerkraut and potato dumplings is like in the blood. And so, like, my growing up, my mom and my grandma, like, they would make pork roast in sauerkraut.
Dumplings and kraut, yeah.
That's my aunt. Um, So, like, we just grew up, there was always a little bit of that flavor in the pork because that's, it was roasted all together. As kids, we probably didn't eat it, but I do love it raw now. I love it baked. Sometimes when we're camping, we just throw the can, we open it and throw it right on the fire and let it heat up in the tin can on the fire and yeah, bring
Wow.
it on.
Yeah,
It's so good
I
for you.
I grew up thinking that sauerkraut was noisome. I didn't like it, I didn't like the smell of it, but I was picky. I think we've probably visited that topic before, but then Teak loves German food. He loves all of that Eastern European food, and so because of that, I've started to appreciate it, and now I would say I like it. I would say I wouldn't call it noisome. I don't
Yeah.
think I would eat it as frequently as you do, but I'm not opposed to it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, our tasters develop as we get older. And so I think that's one of those things that, like, as a kid, we don't like it, but as an adult, you kind of step into some like bolder flavors.
Yeah, just
And
even that whole pickled thing, like, I'm not sure I loved pickles as a kid, right? But so, like,
mm,
pickles, olives, sauerkraut, all of those things now I'm okay with.
is there anything that you ate as a kid that you will no longer eat as an adult?
Peeps.
That's a good one.
How about you?
I mean, yeah, I don't eat candy, like sweet candy like that. It's not my first choice at all. I'm definitely more of a chocolate girl. But when I was growing up, I would eat an onion like an apple.
No,
And I
that's
could
not true.
it is ask my mom. If my mom's on today, I don't know if she's watching today.
Would you just take a bite and put it down, or would you eat the whole thing?
I would like eat an onion.
And your stomach didn't feel bad or anything after that?
No, I mean, it's a vegetable, right? They're crunchy and juicy. I It is very bizarre to me now, and I can't imagine, like, I cry just cutting onions. I don't know what the heck I was doing, but, like, yeah, I don't even like raw onions on a hot dog or, like, no, can't do it.
Mary said, "Jello, I don't like anymore." I can see that. Oh, and your mom said, "Yes, it is true."
Mhm. Yeah,
Wow.
I
As
don't
a kid, I used to love mac and cheese with hot dogs cut up in it, and I could not do that now.
Could you eat it separate?
Um, yeah, I'm okay with mac and cheese. I'm okay with hot dogs.
We're a mac and cheese and hot dog family.
Amy, same. I used to love chocolate multi-meal. I loved it, and I just don't know if
No?
I could bring myself to eat it these
Mm,
days.
cocoa wheats, I love it. I love that. I love, cream of wheat.
Do you doll it up in some way? Like, do you put fruit, honey, things like that?
No, butter and then sprinkle it with sugar. So like when you get a bite, you have like crunchy sugar with the creamy, and you have to have a little bit of salt in there.
Oh, interesting.
Oh. I'm gonna come over and have some cream of wheat with me.
I mean, maybe if it's prepared the right way, right?
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, I'm sure I was eating the plainest malto meal.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you have to doctor a little bit. It doesn't necessarily it tastes like wheat and water mixed together otherwise.
Mary said she loves mac and cheese and hot dogs.
We also and we still do this sometimes, although not as often, mac and cheese with ring bologna, boiled.
Oh, no, 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 nope. Ring bologna is, like, on the top of my absolutely no list.
Oh, I'm glad I brought it up. There's nothing like boiling a ring bologna until that casing is just as tight can be, and then taking a knife and peeling off the outside and slicing it up.
Uh-uh. I can't do it. I can't even smell it when it's cooking.
Nothing like some ring bologna water after.
Do you do anything with the water? Like, is that usable in some way to
I
make
mean,
something
it's technically a stock. You could ask Jason about that. It's technically a stock, but no, it gets dumped down the drain. Yeah.
okay. Jason is a huge fan of all the forced meats. So
Is
any
he?
kind of wurst, any kind of, sausage like that, any kind of
So can you ask him if he had ring bologna stock, what kind of soup would he make that in, or how would he use it?
Oh, I mean, it seems like you could use it in like a potato soup, right? Or even to like
Totally.
boil potatoes for a mashed potato, like
I
might
mean,
give it a certain
yes.
flavor.
Yes, I love where you're going with it. Yeah, I mean, that is like even that flavor would be a great base for like bean with ham soup or pea soup.
Tim said ring bologna, fried potatoes, and baked beans.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds pretty similar. Doug grew up eating not just a ring bologna, but like like sausage with hominy and
Okay,
pepper.
what's hominy?
Hominy is like white corn. And it's almost like eating it was almost like if corn and a potato had a baby, it would be hominy.
Oh, so kind of creamy
Yeah,
or
like
like okay,
it's a star
starchy.
it's a very starchy corn kernel, so, like, when you bite into it, it almost bites like a mini potato.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds interesting. I don't know, ring bologna, I gotta put this up. It's noisome.
Oh,
And do you eat it with ketchup?
yep, yep. Now, there could be some argument that I know I'm gonna get contrary points to this, but there could be some argument that these traditional sausages are the new superfood because
How so?
they have all the organ meat in. Just saying.
Huh. So have you ever had, one thing I do love, even though I don't love a lot of those sausages we've mentioned, um, is a mung sausage. So like at An Asian Market, they have these like kind of spicy sausages. Those are so good. And
Mm.
I can't get my mind around why do I love that? And why is ring bologna on my, shit list? I don't
Maybe you just like prefer the more Asian spice palette, right? Or I mean, they're all salty, so that it's not a salt thing. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If there's some type of soy or sesame or just like some of the more Asian spices, think ginger and
Mm. Oh, that sounds delicious.
right? What would you say they taste like, or what's the texture like?
It's kind of like a brat in a way, it's got that casing and I do love a brat,
Mhm.
and I'm okay with hot dogs, I love the Chicago dogs at Hot Dogs, for example.
Interesting.
Lori said, "I can only eat Miesfeld's ring bologna."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's probably the best ring bologna around.
and then Mary said, "I don't like liver sausage. That is noisome to me."
Yeah.
Mm.
I tried liver sausage when we were in Ireland, and I'm like, I wanted, like, I enjoy trying to eat ethnic food when we're in an ethnic space, and I just couldn't. I think in blood sausage was I'm like, I want to honor the tradition, but I can't do it.
Well, now here's something that I like based on my, like, bohemian roots is salts. So somebody mentioned they don't like Jello. It's kind of like a jellied meat. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Do you?
So the fact that I love that but not room bologna boggles my mind.
Yes. Does salts have, like, olives and other, like, there's chunks in that, isn't there?
There's chunks. There's not typically olives, at least in the ones I've had. It's
Okay.
more just like, hunks of meat.
Yeah.
And especially on a warm day when it's chilled salts, a slice of that.
Ugh,
Oh.
sounds noisome. Okay, one last question about meat. Do you eat Braunschweiger?
I love Braunschweiger. Do you?
I can't do it. I as a kid, we ate it, but I can't, mm, no,
Really? Okay, what about Braunschweiger? How is that different?
I don't know. It's just an acquired taste. It's just like that. There's something about it I can't do.
Do you think you would also not like a pate?
Yeah,
Like a goose liver pate or something? Is that
yes. Yep. Yeah, there's something, maybe it's in that liver family. I mean, I have family members that love it. They will take a cracker and eat it, or they'll just slice it and eat it plain,
yeah.
or have a
Yeah.
sandwich.
Ah, Braunschweiger, I love it.
Mhm. Can't do it.
Funny, humans are funny, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. Well, and this, so, like, if you're watching from somewhere else that doesn't have some of these Eastern European things, some of these things we mentioned may be completely foreign. Like, I learned very quickly, because Doug's family's in Ohio, that, like, ring bologna or some of these things, like, they don't even know what they are. So, or brats or brat patties. Even one time we had brat patties and, like, nobody would eat them because I didn't know what they were.
So what are they eating instead? Like, what's their go-to?
Burgers and hot dogs. Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, there's this whole family of foods that are, mostly traditional to this Eastern European settlement in the upper Midwest that people just don't know about.
So, I think that's the sauerkraut too, right? That's why it's so ubiquitous here. So in
Mm.
Ohio, do they have something that's like their version of sauerkraut? What is that?
Nope, none of them. The only person I know, I think, is Doug's dad will eat sauerkraut, and he typically eats it. There's a something in his family that it's good luck to eat sauerkraut on New Year's Day. So, like, he has a tradition that he'll eat sauerkraut on New Year's Day, but they definitely don't have it in a regular rotation.
I wonder if that has something to do with digestion, right? Like if you eat sauerkraut, I feel like it'd be good for your digestion. And so I wonder if on New Year's Day, it helped like overcome the hangover or something, and that's where that philosophy came from.
Starting the year with cleaner insides, or yeah.
Yeah.
Sauerkraut, all of those, like, pickled vegetables and sauerkraut, like, they are supposed to be very good for digestion and for your gut health. There's something about it that you get a reset from it, but I don't know.
Hey, I just wanted before we have to sign off, there's this quote by Rumi, and I just loved it and wanted to share it. She said, I'm assuming Rumi is a woman, but I don't know. I actually don't know. Anyway, Rumi said, as you start to walk on the way appears. Clarity doesn't come before action, it comes from action.
Mm.
Isn't that like positive insight to have?
I think it inspires, motion. It inspires starting something. Um, I think about this because sometimes I think, so I'm a Christian, and there are times where I feel like God has given me a nudge to do something, and that's how I know that, like, yep, this is something I should walk through. But I also think sometimes I start something, and then it feels like all the doors are opening, like boom, boom, boom. Things are all of a sudden happening, and so you're stepping into all of these spaces, and so that would be a really good example of that.
Yeah.
Is once you kind of start something, you get these, like, validation points to, like, go, go, go.
Yeah, yeah, once you take that first step and the universe kind of identifies your intention,
Yeah.
then yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Or, sometimes we might be thinking about something and we're like, oh, is this a good idea or should I do this? Conversely, sometimes you might bump into things where you're like, oh man, this is hard, or it doesn't, maybe it's not hard. That's not the right word, but like there's a lot of things I'm coming up against that it doesn't feel right versus like I start something and then it's the whole path lays out in front of you.
Yeah. When you hit those obstacles, I feel like that's a sign too that maybe you need to turn a different direction, right? Like instead of forcing something through in that case.
Right. Yeah. And I might like hit something and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to explore that a little bit and try to figure that out. And then if it happens again, then I'm like, no, nope, this is not right.
Love it. Oh, Kristen, once again, thank you for this awesome conversation on a Wednesday morning.
It went too fast. I want more time.
I know I want more time too. Too short of a time is noisome.
It is annoying. It's annoying and noisome.
Well, this was wonderful. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us and having a conversation. You've been watching Coffee with Kristen and Tina. This is Kristen Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, guys. Have a great